Hello and welcome to Silverstone, where you're joining me on board my Jedi F1000 single-seater race car. We're doing the international layout, half of the layout here, in the F1000 Championship. I'm starting P4 after my fastest lap in the previous race. Lights are on, and we've bogged massively and dropped 3 places. Not an ideal start at all, and Ian, a newcomer here, is trying to go around the outside. A little lift, but we're back on the throttle, dealing with some oversteer as a result, but just keeping it pinned round the right of him, as we know it's a left-hander coming up. All of this powder down was soaking up oil and liquid from the previous race, so it really bottlenecks turn 3. As we're following my teammate Ryan, we see some smoke coming out of his car, so we stay in the tow, we pop it out, and we let him know that there's an issue with the car. Obviously we gain position up to P6. Completely miss the apex there. Obviously cold tyres going in fast signals Ryan that he needs to go into the pits, and he does exit into the pit lane. Good job too, because when he got into the pits the engine died. I would not have got this performance if I had a safety car, so that was a really good strategic move for myself. So coming round onto the start straight again, having completed the first lap. Running in P6, Eric hits the inside curb there, which makes it go wide. That distracts me, which makes me screw up. If you watch that bit again, the engine did weirdly cut out or miss a gear or something. Dealing with some oversteer on the exit there, so we're up to P5 after taking Eric, after he went off the track. Now there's quite a big gap here, a gap that took me 4 laps to catch up to the guys in front, but I definitely do. So if you wanted to skip ahead a few minutes, 4 laps, to lap 6 once I've caught the guys up, I'd definitely recommend it. But if you love racing and you want to see the fastest lap of the race, which I achieved in lap 3, it's definitely worth sticking around. By no means a incredible lap, slower than the previous few races, but that's because the tyres had gone off by this point for everyone, so we're a little bit slower, but it was my first time getting the fastest lap in a race, and this is the start of that lap. Nice and wide, good turn in flat, lose a bit of speed down to 124, but then back on, staying on the power. Didn't use all the track there, but obviously with this concrete powder bottlenecking us a bit, but really just carried a lot of speed through turn 3. No lift there. Big turn in, bit of understeer, but looking pretty good. Interesting that my fastest lap was without a proper tow. Didn't even meet the curb, so again, definitely time in stow. Should have apexed earlier, touched the curb earlier. As we come into Vale Club, which is probably my worst sector in this race. However, after some coaching from my driver coach, Matt, we were able to definitely gain time there, which is why we crossed the line at a 1:03.780. And we continue the pace. Very nearly losing it there, and then just a bit of a mind blank hitting the grass again. But you can tell we're pushing ourselves, pushing the car, pushing the tyres, that's for sure. That's all the snaps. And also some not great driving, but hitting our top speed of 142 there. There we go. Apexing earlier, although it did push us out because we lifted off the throttle. So we got hands up, just apologising, but we are much closer now to the guys in front. Not getting the turn in right for turn 1. always gaining time, definitely through the braking zone of turn 3. Rob kicking up a bit of dirt. No, it's going to slow him a little bit on the straight, so we're going to gain. We might even get advantage of a slipstream here. So we're definitely much closer than we've been most of the race, but again, we got distracted. We didn't turn in early enough, and therefore we missed the apex, so we're not super fast out. Take a lot of curb on the first bit, but then we mess up the gear change on the way through. Now we caught up to Rob. Little lift for turn 1, back flat for turn 2, late on the brakes in turn 3. Get the car rotated nicely. We know that we're going to set up the hanger straight now that we're in a slipstream here. Get a little snap on the way out. And you can see the difference this slipstream is making. Took Stowe pretty well there. Quite a different line to Rob. Taking a lot of that curb. And nice and close to the back of Rob now, who is very slightly down on engine power on a spare engine for this race. So you can see the difference it's making here. We tried to look up the inside, but Rob's never going to let that happen. He's going to shut the door, but it does distract him and he goes slightly off the circuit. There's not going to be any room to pass him on turn 3, even though I'm braking nice and late. So we know we're just waiting for the hanger straight here, trying to stay as close to him as possible. Little bit of a snap from Rob. Not my best exit though, but we've got enough of a slipstream and enough of a straight here to get in the tow. I do think this one's going to be a little bit late to launch it, however. Rob attacks in nice and early. Managed to carry quite a lot of speed through, but couldn't get on the power, so I ended up following him off the circuit. So the blue car in front, Rob Wellham, is the 2022 F1000 Champion. I believe he came runner-up either last year or the year before. Constantly a race winner, so definitely one that I'm not used to racing. We did have a good battle at Cadwell Park. I falsely put out on YouTube that he made a protest against me for my driving there. I wanted to correct that. It wasn't actually him putting the protest out. It was pretty standard for marshals to do it when there is a coming together on circuit. But it just makes things interesting, gives a bit of history to the racing and to us as drivers, so it makes it more tense when you get up behind someone. So when they make a small mistake like that and touch the dirt onto the hanger straight and you get the slipstream, you pop it out, it feels a lot more intense and more real. So we're making the move down into Stowe. Good turn in, managed to keep the foot on the throttle and have a good exit. James in front having a little small moment there on the way into the braking zone. James trying to break the toe here, trying to follow the guys in front. Rob doesn't deal with such issues. So again, nice and late on the brakes, getting really close to the back of James here, and actually to the front too as well, so we're all over here. Looks like Craig Pollard is really taking the fight to Matt Higginson, and then there's me and James' slipstream. You can see me gap Rob behind us, he's down on power, so he's losing the slipstream, whereas I'm gaining it on James Colonel. James is sitting middle, hasn't decided where he's going to defend yet. So I try to launch up the inside, he comes in anyway, and there's a small touch of his wheel there with my nose cone. No drama, except it means that Rob's caught up with us now. I tried to defend in the middle, but move over to the right and kind of let him go. A bit shaken up after the James incident, to be honest. Obviously now I've got the power here, to pass him on a straight. I don't think we're going to be able to make it on the start-finish, as history has proven he will shut the door and not concede the place, but will history repeat itself and he goes slightly off the track, comes back on. Again though, no opportunity to dive on him with the funneling of the circuit there, but we're just going to do what we did before and get him on hang straight. But we've got Tom Westworth, my teammate, who's in the mirror now, so keeping this racing nice and close, and I believe that's a back marker a couple of places in front, so that makes it even more interesting. The blue light's going on the right, pop it out to try and take Rob Wellham down the straight again. So that's the back marker there that's turning in. We're launching it late. Rob gets to follow us through and we just make it. Staying left again, defending, but he's not going to make the move this time, so slightly offline. Big snap there. And another one on the exit, but we're just going to sit in the middle and not let him pass, and we know that we've got the straight line speed to disappear onto the straight. I don't think the toe is going to do much from here, but he is going to try and do the same. Now I give him more room than he would have given me. Little lift to the throttle, but managed to not go off circuit. He's right on the inside right of us, but we just know we're going to be braking later into this corner, as we have done all race on everyone, and we defend the position pretty well. So another back marker, the yellow car here, which is quite usefully giving me the toe, and James is not benefiting from one, so only I'm benefiting here and gaining. So really long toe there. Managed to brake nice and late. James is a little bit all over the place, misses the exit. I mean, misses the apex, sorry. We didn't do much better, but we have definitely gained some time on him. Take that corner very well. Now you can see the gap definitely has increased behind us, so we're only looking in front of us now. Bit of a wobbly turn in, deal with some oversteer in the mid corner. Be nice and late on the brakes, try and get the car rotated. Nice and early on the throttle. In James's slipstream now. Don't believe he'll be getting that from the guy in front, so we're going to benefit. He's really dramatically defending the right here, so we're going to have to go to our normal line, and we kind of made him miss the apex because he was on the inside off his normal line, which we benefit from and managed to gain another position. If you keep watching the rear view, James absolutely sends it. Fair play to him trying to get it back, but we've kind of set him up for defensive switchback, leave the room, but get round him, and it's just flat around the final corner. Now he is slightly coming back at us, but again I don't think he's going to make the move into turn one. We just turn in. Big snap of oversteer as we go through turn 3, nearly losing it after all this hard work. And we can see Matt Higginson ahead of us, Craig Pollard in P1. Now I've taken away the rear camera because for the next lap and a half we are not going to be worried about what's behind us, only what's in front. We're never going to catch the guys, but we are going to bring it home in P3, which is my second ever podium in the Jedi F1000 Championship. I have won some silverware here back in June on the full Silverstone circuit. Historic, actually missing this Vale Club corner. But nevertheless, it was against F3 cars. Definitely go check that video out if you haven't. But as you can see, this was just F1000 spec series. And we're coming on to the final lap, lap 14. If you like these onboards, definitely go check out the rest of my channel. A very good playlist called Raw Dog Racing that has all of my onboards with my commentary on it. We've got onboards from Silverstone, Cadwell Park, Snetterton, and a few more. If you want to hear a bit more about this weekend, the story of it all the drama from wheels coming off, parts failing, cars being rebuilt, getting recovered from the gravel, then you definitely want to go check that out. Some awesome on-track shots as well. I've got a videographer up in that wing as you look over there, filming a lot of these moves, filming the cars on track. It's really interesting to see. As we come around the final corner, we're already celebrating because my friends are up on the wing, and then that is a huge fist bump as we cross the line. Cannot believe, obviously we had an awful start, bogged completely and lost 3 positions, but I cannot believe I gained those 3 positions back and managed to get back to P3. I wasn't aware at the time that I'd got a fastest lap, of course, but I do think that shows that I did have the pace. Maybe if I hadn't have messed up the start, maybe to have got my first win, or at least a P2, it would have been interesting nevertheless. But I'm absolutely buzzed to get a podium. A win's definitely coming. So thanks for watching, and join me again soon at Chapman's Corner.